Alright, so I'm making this video in order to provide context around why I program and structure travel workouts the way I do. I'm going to try my best to be brief. That's definitely not my strong suit, but I will try my best. So the first thing to define is a travel workout. So this is a workout in which you are out of your normal, training environment. So the examples I'll use will be a work trip, staying in a hotel that doesn't have a gym, a family vacation, or a family get together, I should say. Holidays, maybe it's not a vacation for everyone, but you're staying in an environment where, again, you don't have the same space, you don't have the same access to tools. So I'll go back and correct myself. Maybe the hotel does have a gym, but it's not your usual equipment. And then the other scenario would be a vacation in which you're going to a desired destination, a different city, a national park, somewhere that you're going to do some exploring, some indulging, yada yada yada. And of course, indulging and exploring can also be a part of work trips and family trips as well, holidays, things like that. So I have a format, and it's a format that many people are aware of, that I will use 99% of the time inside of my own travel workouts and the workouts that I program for other individuals. This structure, whether you work with me or not, can be valuable to understand so that on the go, if you have to adjust things, or again, people who don't work with me just want to create something for themselves, you are able to do that either on the fly or, again, for people who don't work with me, and maybe it's prepared, you can say, okay, here's the 3 travel workouts I'm going to do while I'm away for a week, okay? I'm looking down because I have a workout written out. The way I want to explain this is go over an example workout, and as I'm going over it, kind of, explain why it's structured the way it's structured, and then, the dose you're looking to get from this workout. Again, it's not our usual training. We can't be pushing for the exact same dose. So if you're looking to up, your 1 rep bench press or your 1 rep back squat, or you're looking to run, a 10K faster, this isn't going to be the workout that, might push you directly in the moment, right? You're not going to be doing, reps off of your percentages. You're not going to be doing a run based on your race pace, et cetera, et cetera. However, it's going to provide a really valuable dose based on the context of traveling, right? Where we're not in our ideal training environment or our usual training environment. So anyways, if I'm looking down, it's because the workout is written right here, but I'll put it right here for all of you so you can take a look as I'm talking through it. So I'm writing it, and there's wiggle room here, but I'm writing it as EMOM by 30 to 40 minutes. If you don't know what an EMOM is, right, you don't work with me, but you've stumbled on this video, go look that up, all right? It's a pretty easy concept to grasp, and I am positive that there are a lot of resources on Google. If you want to look for a video on YouTube, there are a lot of resources. But an EMOM for 30 to 40 minutes, right, creating a range already. In minute 1, you're going to do 3 to 12 push-ups, right? And on minute 2, you're going to do 12 to 20 alternating reverse lunges, all right? Meaning 12 to 20 total, in which the leg that you're stepping back on alternates on every rep, all right? The reason for a huge range is because we want these workouts to be efficient. I haven't seen cousin Susie in so many years. I want time to catch up with that person. I'm in Athens for the first time, and I want to explore as much as possible. I want to eat all the good stuff there is to eat out here, and I want to be really efficient in my workout. All right, so no warm-up. You're just jumping in. So the range is to account for the fact that when you jump in on the session, you're not going to feel the same way on minute 1 that you do in minute 30. It's going to be a different texture inside of this couplet, all right? Now, generally speaking, I'm going to be programming couplets or triplets, meaning 2 movements or 3 movements. So if you were going to add an easy third movement to this, right, it would be a sit-up. All right, for example, right? You've got a push, you've got a unilateral squat, and now you've got some core work. What this does is it takes away from the amount of sets you're going to be doing overall for each exercise. So if it was a 30-minute EMOM, and I'll post the adjustment right here, or the variation, if we're going 30-minute EMOM and you've got 3 movements, you're going to be doing 10 sets each. If you've got a 30-minute EMOM and you've got 2 movements, you're going to be doing 15 sets of each. All right, so it changes things a bit. So I usually, like to recommend a couplet, but occasionally the context will call for some variety, and that's where you can throw in a third movement. All right. If you really, really are like anti-couplet, or that's just too much monotony, that would be a reason to throw in a third movement. But 2 movements is very, very potent and very efficient. The reason for couplets and triplets is that you are going to get great volume, right? So what happens when, we go to 4 different pressing variations in our workout? You start on the barbell bench, right? You rest, maybe you're going to go to deficit push-ups. It's a different texture. You're going to need some adjustment time. You're also going to need to, time to physically go from space to space, and environment to environment. And then if you go overhead presses after that, right, maybe you do a traditional upper push day, well, you're going to need more time to adjust because now you're going vertical versus horizontal. So if you just keep one movement, you can take it from warm-up to workout and get a great feel for where you're at throughout the entire piece, while also increasing your capacity to get great tension, right? If you're hammering push-ups, that first set, you're getting into things, but that 15th set, now you're creating incredible contractions, right? Incredible tension inside of your contractions, right? And that's really important, deep, deep tension, right? Because I want to go enjoy my life on this vacation, guilt-free, stress-free, right? There's a toll that refined sugar takes on us. So yeah, I want to try every gelato place in a 30-block radius when I'm in Rome. Well, let me balance that out with some really efficient and potent fitness, okay? And I'll jump into the lunges as well. It's the same concept. So maybe you start with, in those first 10 minutes, and this is how I like to get things going, is those first 10 minutes can just act as your warm-up section. All right, so this goes, if you want to bring this down to 20 minutes, I would still approach it that way and still bring things up in that second 10 minutes, right? Maybe you're really in tune with yourself. After 6 minutes, you say, I know where I'm at. That felt like a warm-up, and I'm going to start bringing things up. Go for it. But spend some time when you bring things up, in that realm before you bring it up again. All right, so first 10 minutes as a suggestion, starting with 3 and 12 in this example. All right, again, some of you looking at this range would say, well, I know that 7 is more of a warm-up for me with regards to push-ups. That's totally fine, all right? Or that you can always hit 14 lunges in that minute, all right? Maybe some of you got to go down in this scenario on lunges, on push-ups. Maybe you got to go to assisted push-ups, things like that. Recognize that this is a framework, all right? I'm just trying to provide context inside of this framework, but you can hopefully use this, information to help create your own travel workout if you need to. So again, going back to the first 10 minutes, that's more of a warm-up feel. Then you bring things up. If you feel that you can, maybe that warm-up scenario, and a lot of times that warm-up scenario that you hit right away, you're kind of in the right ballpark, because this should be an aerobic feel. This is a 40-minute workout, right, that you're just jumping into. And oftentimes that, lowest level will provide you with a great dose, okay? But if you feel really, really good after those first 10 minutes, you say, I know I can recover from this, because you want to recover from this. This shouldn't be a heavy hitter where you're hammering yourself over the head with fitness. You want to leave from these 30, 40 minutes saying, I feel really good. My legs aren't, juiced up to the point where I can't go on that nice long walk, through this beautiful scenery. I'm visiting Yosemite for the first time. Those things should be able to take you on a nice walk. All right. Similarly, I want to have all that conversation. I haven't spoken to Grandpa Joe in 2 years. Really want valuable time with them. But I know we're going to be doing over, slices of apple pie, right? I also want to make sure that I'm getting in a potent dose but it's not wiping me out, and I'm not sitting there like, oh, my back's really sore. Sorry, I got to sit like this. You want to be, doing a workout that makes you comfortable and able to participate in all the activities, and be in this situation where your schedule is dynamic. You're not working out in your usual environment, right? I always come back from work 5:30 p.m. and then I start my workout at 6. This ain't the scenario. Okay, so something that allows you, to feel really good from beginning to end, even if it's more effortful at the end. So you pick it up, minute 11 to 20, right? If you're feeling good, okay, I'm going to bring things up. Now, again, if you find that, okay, I've got 20 more minutes on the clock, let me stay here, great. If you feel you can go up, go for it again. And I would just segment it into 10-minute chunks. So if you're going to go all the way up to 40 minutes and you feel that you've earned the right, that's all good. We should have to earn that step up. So if you feel like, hey, it's been really sustainable up to this 30-minute point, go ahead and bring it up for those last 10 minutes. And then cumulatively, you've gotten this great dose where you took it from not so effortful to more effortful. And so overall, you're somewhere in the middle. So it is recoverable. All right, now you can go enjoy your time with your loved ones, during a holiday, or you can go on that long walk with your partner as you're in this new fun environment, and you can go enjoy that cake, and you can go enjoy those drinks, whatever it might be, because you know that you're balancing it out really nicely. So that's really the approach, is an EMOM, some sort of couplet or triplet, bringing things up because the dose that we want is effective but not killer. So bringing things up or staying in that same spot. And then on top of that, I'll throw in some mobility on off days. This shouldn't be something where you need to hammer it every single day. Recognize that there's a lot of value to bringing things down. But again, so many of us, when we vacation, when we're around family for the holidays, there's a lot of indulging going on. And I think there's something, just very honest in saying like, well, I know that like stuffing sugar cookies into my face isn't great. It's creating a ton of insulin spikes. Let me get in some fitness, but doing it in a way that allows you to participate in a really meaningful and valuable way. So that's the approach. That's the why behind it. There's always nuances. There's always more things to talk about, more things to bring up. But I really like this format inside of a travel moment, all right? How many days inside of your travel moment, have this type of format, have this EMOM, is up to the person, okay? This is the last thing I'll talk about is if you usually train 3 days a week and you go on a 1-week vacation, keep it there. Keep it in the spot that you're able to, keep consistent, and don't try to overdo it just because oh, I might have like, I might go for a second burger at the place that has the world's, biggest freaking burger. Don't overdo it to try to overcompensate, basically. Enjoy what you're doing on your vacation. Recognize that if you're doing any fitness at all, you are in the 99th percentile with regards to traveling fitness. So anyways, I'll leave it there. Hopefully that was helpful. And hopefully that gives you just some simple, context as to why certainly people who work with me, if you see this on your True Coach, different EMOMs, this is why. It has been the most fruitful variation for me with regards to my own, traveling. I love fitness. I love moving my body. I love eating crap when I'm traveling. This place has a fried ice cream. I'm gonna go for it, and I want to do it in a way that doesn't make me feel bad about myself, or I'm a bad boy because I got a lot of sugar in my system. And I just know that in my 15 years in fitness, this can throw people off mentally and physically. So staying consistent, great for mentality. Balancing out indulgence, great for mentality. But also not having to beat yourself and be able to do something that makes you go, okay, I'm putting on a good Audible, a good podcast, something me and my partner can do together, maybe chat a little bit, and then we can go enjoy our morning, coffee and pastry because we're in the land of pastries, right? Something like that. Anyways, peace, love, fitness to you all, and again, I hope this helps.